everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Chic Plant Corner. I know it's been a while since I have filmed a video, as I pretty much say in every single episode. But let's get right into it. Today we are going to be talking about probably one of the second or third most common problems with houseplants, and that is underwatering. And then, I said one thing, but we're also going to be dealing with root binding and just knowing when you need to repot your plant and just some things like that. All right, so to start off, let's talk about underwatering. So I have two examples here to show you. So this is a marble queen pothos, or it's a snow queen. I believe it's a snow queen. You can see here, she has really just crinkly leaves. It's so sad. That leaf seems to be happy. It's actually putting out a new one right there. This really needs to be given some TLC. One of the most easiest ways to see if your plant is underwatered, what I like doing is usually by like the weight. So this one is kind of light. And then I also, when I first got implanted into this, but sticking your finger into the soil up to your first knuckle, if it's dry, then it definitely needs some water. If it's like a pothos, philodendron, familiar, like most typical houseplants. So like I was saying, wrinkly leaves, good indication. Also dry, dead ones like this. Usually, if you have a dry, dead leaf, it's going to be lower on the plant. An older leaf that will die off. And I'll show you an example of some that would die off on Monstera over here. But see, these aren't like pretty old leaves. So I'm just going to pull these off because they are completely dead. They're not going to donate any energy to the plant. Just see here, just popping them off. All right, and for this guy, all she needs is just a little bit of water. So I will water her. That case solved. Now, unlike this poor little not marble queen, Pothos and Joy, my brain went dead there. I even put this little please don't die thing in here so that it wouldn't die, but she didn't get the memo. I even have a little amethyst crystal in here. All right, I believe the reason why this is dying, it's been in this pot for a long time. That's not the reason, sorry. The reason why I believe this is dying is because it's in this terracotta. You can see terracottas do secrete like this white film, and that's actually like salts and minerals that are in the soil. When you water it, it gets sucked out by the terracotta. That's not like a bad thing, but what is bad is that it sucks up a lot of the water, and I am just going to take her and put her into another pot. Ugh. Yeah, you can see all that dirt that's just falling off. It's definitely, wow, definitely lacking a lot of water. All right, so I'm just gonna put it in a normal nursery pot. Right, not the prettiest pot you've seen, but I believe it will do the job. I'm just gonna stick her in here. What I'm going to do is give this girl some soil. As I might have mentioned in one of my previous videos, sometimes people like misting their soil before they put it in so that it will give it a little bit more moisture. Right. And I'm just going to take her and plop the roots right in, leaving a little bit of soil on the bottom so it has some growth room, and then taking my extra soil and placing it on the top. For the most part, plants are very easy to care for. So it's not a super huge process. It may seem like I'm being a little rough with her, but this plant has gone through a lot. So I don't think she'll mind this as much. All right, almost got it there. Another rule of thumb, unless it has roots, like aerial roots that will grow, I would not plant your plant deeper than it was last time in your soil. Like just plant it up to that first line where it was initially. If there are any protruding roots, you can just cover those with soil or stick it further down. All right, so here she is. I'm going to water her in a bit and hopefully she'll perk back up. All right, next rule that we are going to deal with is my Monstera. Now, you may say, from what I see of her, she's super happy, and she is. This is a very beautiful and big plant. Like, look how large this plant is. I love it so much. I got it in winter time frame. It is May now, and this leaf, let me see. So that leaf and this leaf are brand new. These came out just this year. This one is one of my favorites. It has double fenestration. She is so pretty. And you can see this aerial root here. She was actually, I had a humidifier going, and plants are actually kind of intelligent. This root was growing towards the humidifier. I'll show you that right here. All right, so yeah, this root was growing towards the humidifier. That was actually super cool. And even these little roots right here were. Now, why do I think this plant needs repotted? It's doing happy, it's beautiful. I mean, sometimes plants like being a little root bound, right? Yes, well, she started protruding from the bottom of the pot, and she was sending out all these aerial roots, and I just felt like I needed to give her a new planter. And so I have this very chic, beautiful pot here. I actually got it discounted because it was pre-used, but that won't hurt anything. Now what I have here is some orchid bark. I'm just gonna set one of these little pieces of bark on that drainage hole so that my dirt stays in. The orchid bark will help it drain properly without washing all that soil out. And I am going to use a light, airy mixture of soil with perlite. It's also a little bit moist for the occasion. And if you're not aware, perlite is a natural puffed volcanic stone. Oh, and then the little tab I had in there said life is better with more plants, because I love my Monstera. On Monsteras, as they push out new leaves, the older ones will die. And you might think, oh, I don't want to lose this beautiful leaf or lose this beautiful leaf. With Monsteras, the smaller leaves are actually the oldest ones. Right here, we have these little leaves. And so I'm assuming these will die off as more larger ones start to form and grow in. Actually, I might lose this leaf as well, but I am actually completely fine with that because she's beautiful and putting out all this amazing fenestration. So when you replant a plant, especially a Monstera, I mean, I could have just cash crowed this, but like I said, I think it does need repotted. So I'm gonna put it into a pot that has at least an inch or two more space. Not gonna wanna go super big, or you could end up drowning or even not giving her enough water. I'm just gonna squeeze the sides here so that I can get this beautiful plant out of the pot. I can definitely feel all these roots in there. Man, it's holding on very tightly. All right, so I got her loose. I'm going to slowly and gently peel her away. Whoa. You can start to see all those amazing roots that have started to form. Oh, look at how healthy. Slightly root bound, I will definitely say. Actually, that's like more than slightly. That was kind of sarcasm there. I'm going to gently massage the root ball, get some of these roots loosened up so that they'll start spreading, because if you just plant them in like this, not that big of a deal, but they will still follow their circular form. Oh, just look at how beautiful these roots are. Another thing with plants is when they're root bound, they often tend to promote a lot more faster leaf growth. You don't want to like mess her up too much. All right, so it's pretty loosened up there. I'm going to add my soil mixture. One of my favorite tools right here is this spoon. Adding a good layer of soil so that the roots can spread out and feel free to roam. you're not sure how much soil to put in there, you can kind of measure it with your plant. I'll actually probably just end up tucking this little aerial root in the soil so that it promotes more growth. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my soil mixture. Another way to know if your plant is being underwatered is, or actually if it needs repotted, is it gets underwatered super easily right after you water it. The reason for that is because, especially with this one, it has so many roots, it sucks up all that water and doesn't have any time to retain any of that water in the actual soil. So it will actually start to just dry out within like 2 days. And that's what was happening with her. I should have probably repotted her earlier, but she's just growing so beautifully and pulling out all those aerial roots. Just gently adding this soil. All right, so we're almost done here. I'm just gonna continue bragging about this beautiful plant. I love it so much. I think every houseplant owner should like own a Monstera. It is it's a very iconic plant. Everyone, like the most popular plant I would say in the world is probably a Monstera. Not just because of how easy they are, but how big they grow and how beautiful they get with their venistration. I'm actually leaving a little bit of space between the top of the planter. The reason for this is if you plant directly to the top of this right here, when you water, the water will just flow over the edges and doesn't have time to collect and actually drain into the soil, which causes a big mess. All right, I think that is beautiful and good right there. All right, let's take a look. All right, we have this beautiful plant here. She is stunning in her new pot. I do wait a long time before I repot plants. The reason for this is everyone's like, take your plants home and repot them into your new pots. One time I had bought my mom this rose because I really loved the look. I think it was about fall time, and plants will usually start going into a semi-dormancy state in fall. And I bought her this plant and I was super excited. It was when I first got into plants. It's this beautiful mini rose bush. And so I brought it home and instantly repotted it, made it look all pretty. Within a couple days, the leaves started falling off, the petals were falling off, and I was freaking out. Then I started doing some research, and you are not supposed to, it is recommended not to repot your plants as soon as you get it home, because the shock from moving from the beautiful greenhouse or store that it's in, where they're constantly maintaining it, keeping it beautiful, and then you take it home to your house and the temperature fluctuations from your car. Even in summertime, I'd recommend like waiting a week. In the wintertime, I'd probably wait till like springtime before you repot it, or at least a month if you really want to repot your plants then. But just something to be careful about when you bring plants home. Be super careful on when to replant them. So make sure you don't overwater your plants, and make sure you're not underwatering them, because as you can see, this is kind of a common, this like probably the most problems I have with plants is underwatering them. Just gonna throw this little crystal back into this plant and put the please don't die stake back in it. Hopefully this will help it grow better. All right, so I'm going to water these. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing to all of you that have subscribed. If you haven't, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button so next time I come out with another plant video, you'll be able to see it. Also follow me on my Instagram, where I will blog my plants at the Chic Plant Corner, the Chic_Plant Corner. Follow me there so that you can get more tricks, tips, ideas on how to grow beautiful plants like my lovely Monstera here. And if you have any names associated with Greek mythology, preferably female, that you think would be good to name her, let me know in that comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.